In our modern world, where empirical evidence and rational thinking reign supreme, many are left struggling with questions that science and logic alone cannot answer. The meaning of life, the existence of the divine, and our place in the universe remain elusive, leaving many in a state of existential uncertainty. As Nietzsche famously declared, "God is dead." With this proclamation, he foreshadowed a future where the collapse of traditional religious beliefs would leave a void that reason alone could not fill. Yet, Nietzsche's declaration of the death of God was not simply an observation of modern atheism, but a call to confront the crisis of meaning head-on. In doing so, we are given a challenge: to reimagine the divine, not through old metaphysical systems, but through a radical leap beyond the boundaries of reason. Here, Kierkegaard's concept of the leap of faith offers a profound response. Nihilism, as commonly understood, reflects a world where meaning has collapsed. After all, when God, or the idea of God as a moral and metaphysical anchor, dies, what remains? The immediate response for many is despair. If there is no divine plan, no objective moral order, then life is absurd, and any attempt to create meaning appears arbitrary or inauthentic. This understanding of nihilism is deeply pessimistic. But Nietzsche did not envision nihilism as an end in itself. Instead, he saw it as a transition, a space where new possibilities could emerge. The death of God is not only a tragedy, it is also an opportunity to move beyond old, decaying values and explore new horizons of meaning. The divine, for Nietzsche, could now be reimagined beyond its traditional anthropomorphic forms. Here, the crisis of meaning invites us to think about the divine not as something that reason can fully grasp or control, but as something that exists beyond reason itself. It is at this very point, where reason reaches its limit, that Søren Kierkegaard offers a compelling answer. For Kierkegaard, the human condition is marked by a profound sense of uncertainty, particularly when it comes to the divine. Faith, he argues, is not a rational endeavor, but an existential one. And it is this realization that gives rise to the leap of faith. Kierkegaard's leap of faith emerges from the recognition that certain truths, especially religious ones, cannot be understood or proven through reason. Instead, they require a personal and subjective leap, a commitment to belief in the face of uncertainty. For Kierkegaard, this leap is necessary because human reason can only take us so far. At the edge of reason, where paradox and absurdity reside, one must confront the limits of human knowledge and choose whether or not to believe in something beyond. In his famous discussion of the absolute paradox, Kierkegaard points to the Christian doctrine of the incarnation, God becoming human, as something fundamentally irrational. From a purely logical standpoint, this belief makes little sense. And yet, it is in the very absurdity of this claim that faith is born. The believer must make a leap, embracing the paradox and trusting in something that reason alone cannot affirm. This leap is not blind. It is not an escape from reality. Rather, it is an acknowledgement of reality's full complexity, where the known and the unknown meet, and reason can only take us so far. Beyond this boundary lies faith. In the context of Nietzsche's Death of God, the leap of faith takes on new significance. The modern crisis of meaning, driven by the collapse of traditional metaphysical and religious frameworks, brings us to the same precipice that Kierkegaard describes: the edge of reason, the limit of human understanding. But this is not the end. If Nietzsche's Death of God is interpreted not as a final word, but as a call to move beyond old forms of belief, then the leap of faith becomes an essential tool for navigating a post-religious world. In a world without the traditional God, we are faced with the challenge of finding meaning where none is given. This is where Kierkegaard's leap speaks to us. We must choose to engage with the divine, or at the very least, with meaning, even when reason cannot lead us all the way there. Though Kierkegaard's insights are rooted in Christianity, the leap of faith has resonance far beyond this tradition. In Buddhism, for example, the practice of non-attachment invites individuals to move beyond rational explanations and concepts, embracing the reality of impermanence through direct experience. Similarly, in Hinduism, the devotion seen in Bhakti Yoga transcends logic, focusing on a deep, personal relationship with the divine that cannot be fully explained through reason. Islamic mysticism also emphasizes the experiential nature of divine knowledge, with poets like Rumi describing a love of God that goes beyond words or rational understanding. Even secular thought, which often distances itself from religious narratives, must confront the same existential dilemma. Existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus recognize that human life is filled with absurdity and uncertainty. Their solution, however, was not nihilism, but an embrace of freedom, the idea that we must create meaning in the absence of inherent order. In this way, even secular existentialism can be seen as a kind of leap, a commitment to life and meaning in a world that offers no guarantees. Religious narratives, like Christianity, often take us to the edge of reason. They offer profound insights into human existence, suffering, love, and redemption, but ultimately, they require a leap of faith to be fully embraced. The same can be said for many spiritual traditions. They invite us to step beyond the known into the unknown. In the face of modern nihilism, we are called to do the same. The loss of old certainties is not an invitation to despair, but a chance to explore new possibilities for the divine, for meaning, and for faith. Kierkegaard's leap of faith reminds us that while reason may guide us to the brink, it is faith that allows us to step beyond, and in doing so, to rediscover meaning in a world that often seems void of it.